Srimate Ramanujaya Namaha. Shuklambaradharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vighnopashantaye Jnananandamayam Devam Nirmalaspatikakritim Adharam Sarva Vidyanam Hayagrevamupassmahe Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada. We'll tell the Tanyan for Swami Yamunacharya. Yatpadambhor hadhyana vidhvastasheshakal mashah vastutamupayatoham yamuneyam namamitam. To Sri Ramanujacharya, Bhagavad Ramanuja. Yo nityamachyuta padambu jayugma rukma vyamohatastaditarani tranaya mene asmadguror bhagavatosya dayika sindhoho Ramanujasya charanau sharanam prapadye. Offering my pranamams, namaskarams to everybody who is assembled here. We'll start the next session. Next session. Last time we saw the shloka, that is the Geetaartha Sangraha shloka number 1, which is a summary of the entire Bhagavad Gita. Swadharma Jnana Vairagya Sadhya Bhaktyeka Gocharaha Narayana Param Brahma Gita Shastre Samiritaha. So there's one additional point I want to make regarding this shloka, which has been told by Swami Vedanta Deshikar in the Geetaartha Sangraha Raksha, that he says Narayana Shabda, about the Narayana Shabda, he quotes from one of the Smritis. Alodya Sarvashastrani Vicharya cha punah punaha idamekam sunishpannam dhyeyo Narayana Sata. So, Alodya Sarvashastrani, having churned all the Shastras, Vicharya cha punah punaha, and having pondered over them, punah punaha, again and again, idamekam sunishpannam. This is only one thing which is suhtu nishpannam, which is shown very clearly. In all the Shastras, there is one and only thing which is firmly shown or determined, that Dhyeyo Narayana Sada, that Lord Narayana is to be meditated upon, Sada, always. So that Narayana Shabda Nirvachana, what we saw in the previous, in the Geetaartha Sangraha Shloka 1, Narayana Param Brahma Gita Shastre Samiritaha. So about Narayana, this is what is one of the shlokas told in the Smritis. Now we go to the second shloka of the Geetaartha Sangraha, which is a summary of the first hexad of the Purva Shatka, which means the first 6 chapters, chapters 1 to 6. This is a summary of all those 6 chapters in one shloka. I will repeat and then you please tell it on your own. So I will tell 3 times. Jnana karmatmike nishthe, Jnana karmatmike nishthe, Jnana karmatmike nishthe, Yoga lakshye susamskrite, Yoga lakshye susamskrite, Yoga lakshye susamskrite, Atmanubhuti siddhyarthe, Atmanubhuti siddhyarthe, Atmanubhuti siddhyarthe, Purva shatkena chodite, Purva shatkena chodite, Purva shatkena chodite, Jnana karmatmike nishthe, Yoga lakshye susamskrite, Jnana karmatmike nishthe, Yoga lakshye susamskrite, Jnana karmatmike nishthe, Yoga lakshye susamskrite, Atmanubhuti siddhyarthe, Purva shatkena chodite, Atmanubhuti siddhyarthe, Purva shatkena chodite, Atmanubhuti siddhyarthe, Purva shatkena chodite, Jnana karmatmike nishthe, Yoga lakshye susamskrite, Atmanubhuti siddhyarthe, Purva shatkena chodite, Jnana karmatmike nishthe, Yoga lakshye susamskrite, Atmanubhuti siddhyarthe, Purva shatkena chodite. The meaning of this is susamskrite, well refined. Susamskrita means well refined. Samskrita, the meaning of word Samskrita is itself well refined, means it is cultured, well refined. Well refined with Sheshatva Jnana, knowledge of one's subservience to the Lord. Jnana Karmatmike Nishthe is in two parts. Jnanatmike Nishthe and Jnanatmika Nishtha and Karmatmika Nishtha, which is well established in Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga. Jnana Karmatmike Nishthe is Jnanatmika Nishtha and Karmatmika Nishtha, which is Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga. Then what is Yoga Lakshya? Lakshya means the goal, with yoga being the goal. Yoga Lakshya, yoga being the goal means what is yoga? Yoga is nothing but Jivatma Sakshatkara, which means the realization of the Jivatman. Atma Anubhuti Siddhyarthe. In order to accomplish, attain Atma Anubhava, Atma Anubhuti is Atma Anubhava, experience or realization of the self. Purva Shatkena Chodite. Purva Shatka is the first hexad. The first 6 chapters, Chodite is ordained or commanded. So in the first hexad, according to this shloka, what is told is realization of the Jivatman. That is that some books call this as Kaivalya. This is different from Moksha. Moksha is realization of Paramatman, whereas this is still realization of Jivatman itself. So Jivatman is different from Paramatman according to our Siddhanta. So this is realization of Jivatman, which is Kaivalya. In the first hexad, the performance of Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga done in a well-refined manner to attain self-realization, Jivatma Sakshatkara, blissful experience of the Jivatman is ordained, directed. Now let us see the meanings of all these words according to Geetaartha Sangraha Raksha, which is the work by Swami Vedanta Deshikar. So he says, Jnanatmika Nishtha Jnana Yogaha, Karmatmika Nishtha Karma Yogaha. What is the meaning of this word? Nishtha is the question. Nishtha is Nitisthati, means Niyamena Nishchayena Tisthati, Asmin Arthe. Adhikartavye Adhikari iti Nishtha. Niyamena Tisthati, Nishchayena Tisthati means firmly positions oneself in observance of this duty. Means as ordained. He Niyamena Tisthati means as ordained in the Shastras, he positions himself. Nishchayena Tisthati means he firmly positions himself or oneself in observance of the duty, asmin arthe, or duty or activity. The one who performs this, adhikari, adhikartavye adhikari, the one who is eligible for this. There are 4 types of people who are eligible. One is artha, another is artharthi, then arthi jigna, then third is jignasu, then jnani. Artha is a person in trouble who comes to Venkataramana, like in Kannada they say Sankata Bandaka Venkataramana, that's called as Artha, means in trouble he will go to the Lord. Then Artharthi is a person who desires worldly wealth and worldly pleasures, so he goes to the Lord, he approaches the Lord. Then Jignasu is a person who desires about realization of Jivatman, and he will also go to the Lord to approach the Lord. And fourth is Jnani, who is a person who is desirous of moksha. So he will approach the Lord. So these people are adhikaris, and the nishtha, what they follow is firmly positioning oneself in the observation of the duty or activity. There is one more definition of the word nishtha. Niyata sthitihi eva va nishtha. Yavat phalam sthira parigrihitam upaya anushtanam ityarthaha. Yavat phalam sthira parigrihitam. Till the fruit is realized, till results are obtained, till fruition is reached, firm perseverance, upaya anushtanam, firm perseverance and going in the path, not swerving away from the path, till the desired fruit is reached, till the results are obtained, not stopping in between and not having breaks or interruptions. This is called nishtha. Niyata sthitihi va eva va nishtha. So these are the 2 meanings of the word nishtha. So in the word here, jnana karmatmike nishthe, jnanatmika nishtha, karmatmika nishtha, these are the meanings. Now we will see the other words. Yoga lakshye, sadhanataya lakshyam, uddeshyam, yayohate, yoga lakshye. This is the meaning from the Geetaartha Sangraha Raksha. Yoga is the means towards the goal which is accomplished by yoga. Sadhanataya lakshyam. So what is the goal accomplished is till the goal is reached, the means to attain that goal is yoga. And there are two paths which are told in the chapter 2 and chapter 3 of Bhagavad Gita. One is first karma yoga, followed by jnana yoga, then reaching the goal. These are so karma yoga. First a person does karma yoga, like arurukshor mune yogam karma kalana muchete, yoga arudasya tashreva shamakkalana muchete, what Krishna tells in 6th chapter. First he climbs the first step of karma yoga, and next he climbs the second step of jnana yoga, and then he attains the goal. In the next thing, whatever is told in chapter 3 is first karma yoga, then directly to the goal. In karma yoga itself, without separate step of jnana yoga, with antargata atma jnana. So the karma yoga is performed with the antargata atma jnana, with inherent knowledge of the self, and that step will not need the extra step of jnana yoga, and directly the person can go to the goal, is what is told. So there are two paths which are told in chapter 2 and chapter 3, as told by Swami Deshikan in the Geetaartha Sangraha Raksha. The superior souls who demonstrate the way to the other ordinary people like us. So this is a sulabha upaya, means this is a not a difficult means, this is an easy means, and without any pramada, without any accidental mistakes, it can be done, is what it means. Because Krishna himself tells in chapter 2, Nehabhikramanashosti pratyavayo na vidyate. So, na abhikramanashosti, na iha abhikramanashaha asti, pratyavayaha na vidyate. Abhikramanasha means once starting the karma yoga and leaving it in the middle, so that nasha is not there. And there is no abhikramanasha. Once you start, it will go away. That kind of destruction is not there, because it is said that this will continue from Janma to Janma, because in 6th chapter also Krishna says that he will make that person. Arjuna asked the question in 6th chapter, what happens to a person who is in the path and suddenly he dies? Means he will not have neither have worldly benefit, nor will he have he will be reaching towards the goal, is what Arjuna asked the question. And Krishna says, Nahi kalyanakrit kaschit durgatim tata gacchati. And he says, Prapya punyakritan lokan, and he goes on continue. So it will continue from Janma to Janma. The person will be born in such a family that it will foster him to continue from where he left out in the previous Janma. So that is why Abhikramanasha is not there. And Pratyavayo na vidyate. Suppose in Kamya karmas, what happens is when the person does Kamya karma, if some aspect, some anga of the Kamya karma step is not properly followed, then it will lead to Pratyavaya. Pratyavaya means some kind of accumulation of sin. So here, in Karma Yoga, there is no Pratyavaya. Pratyavayo na vidyate is what Krishna himself tells in chapter 2, I think Shloka 41, 40 or 41. So that is what, these are the Yoga Lakshya, Karma Yoga to Jnana Yoga to goal, or Karma Yoga directly to the goal, along with Antargata Atma Jnana. So these are the two steps which are told by Swami Vedanta Deshikar, based on the Bhashya by Bhagavad Ramanuja also. Now we go to the other words of this meaning. Yoga. We need to know the word of yoga. Atra asanadi vishesha parikaravan sakshatkarartham atmavalokana apara nama samadhana vishesha rupaha vyaparaha tat sadhya sakshatkara eva va. So this is what Swami Vedanta Deshikar tells in Raksha book. Yoga means asana, means the Ashtanga Yoga, Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi, along with its accessories for realization of Jivatman, and also Chitta Samadhana Vishaya Rupaha, Paranama Chitta Samadhana, or also for calmness, equanimity of the mind, and subsequent realization of Jivatman is Yoga. Atena Smriti Santati Vishesha Rupat Swakaranabhuta Jnana Yogat Swakaryabhutat Atmanubhavachya Bhedaha. So these are the two differences. There are two steps, two things we have to differentiate. Bhedaha is what he says. One is Karana. Karana is one Bheda, and Karya is another Bheda. Karana is the cause, and Karya is the effect. What are the cause and effect as differentiated by the cause, which is Jnana Yoga, of the form of continuous remembrance, Smriti Santati Vishesha Rupat, continuous remembrance, and the effect, which is the realization of the Jivatman. So Karana is the Jnana Yoga, and the Karya is the realization of Jivatman. So this is cause and effect relationship is told in this particular shloka. Next, Susamskrite. There's a word called Susamskrite here. What is Susamskrita? Susamskrite. Paramatma adhinatva tat prityarthatva phalantara sangarahitya adi buddhi visheshaihi parikarmite ityarthaha. Means Paramatma adhinatva. Susamskrite means refined. Paramatma adhinatva means with knowledge of subservience to Bhagavan. Paramatma adhina, I am subservient to the Lord. Tat prityarthatva, with love towards the Bhagavan, means an affection, devotion towards the Bhagavan. Phalantara sangarahitya, along with absence of desire in other fruits. I don't want any worldly fruits, means I don't want usual worldly fruits which we aspire for, like wealth or possessions or things like that. Covetousness, non-covetousness is what is called aparigraha. Phalantara sangarahitya adi buddhi visheshahi, along with the state of mind, parikarmite, doing the karma yoga, is susamskrite, is what is told. Atmanubhuti siddhyarthe means Sukhamatyantikam yattat buddhigrahya matindriyam is what is told in 6th chapter. This is a verse from, this is a statement from the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Sukhamatyantikam yattat buddhigrahya matindriyam ityadi ukta prakarena vaishaika ananda vilakshana svetara samasta vaitrishnyavaha sukha swabhava pratyagatma sakshatkara vishesha rupa Siddhi Vishesha Prayojane Ityarthaha means Sukhamatyantikam. This is unparalleled kind of bliss he will get, is what is told, which is realized only by the buddhi, and it is beyond the senses, is what Krishna tells. When realization of Jivatman happens, it is unparalleled kind of bliss, but not fully unparalleled, because Paramatma Sakshatkara is even much more bigger than that. But whatever compared to worldly pleasures, what we see, this realization of Atman is much more blissful, is what is told by Krishna himself. Ityadi ukta prakarena, as what is told, Vaishaika ananda vilakshana. It is different from pleasures, from the sense objects. The sense objects, what we see, like some sight or some sound or some taste, like that, or touch or whatever we see is different from that. It is much different from that. Svetara samasta vaitrishnavaha, experience of the sukha swabhava pratyagatma sakshatkara, experience of the jivatman, jivat pratyagatma sakshatkara vishesha rupa siddhi vishesha prayojane, towards realization of the jivatman, is what is told. Atmanubhuti siddhyarthe. So Atmanubhuti siddhyartha is completely different and distinct from all the pleasures which are obtainable by the sense object and the sense organ, by contact of the sense organ with the sense object, whatever pleasures or whatever things we get, whatever happiness we get, this is much, much different from that is Atma Anubhuti, experience of the Jivatman. So Atma Anubhuti Siddhyarte. Next comes Purva Shatkena Chodite. So Purva Shatkena Kartavyataya Anushishte Iti Yavat. This is what is told in the first hexad, the first 6 chapters of the Bhagavad Gita, chapters 1 to 6, is what is told. Then then Swami Deshikan also tells one more thing, which is the Upadghata. At the end of the Geetaartha Sangraha Raksha comments for this particular sloka, he tells that the Upadghata means it's the introduction. It is the avatarika. It is the sangati. It is the what is it? Pura Pitika. It is the Pitike. It's the introduction. What is the introduction? The beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, Shloka 1, Dharmakshetre, Kurukshetre, Samaveta, Yutsavaha, till verse 11, verse 12 of the second chapter. Verse 11 is Ashochan Anvashochatvam Prajnavadam Bhashase, that is Shloka 11. Verse 12 is where Natvevaham Jatunasam Natvam Neme Janadhipaha. Till that, so it is 47 shlokas from the first chapter plus 10, 11 shlokas from the second chapter. So what is that? Is the Upadghata part. That is the Sangati. It is the introduction to the Bhagavad Gita. It is the Upakrama to the Bhagavad Gita, is what Swami Deshikan tells in the Geetaartha Sangraha Raksha. So this we saw. So what we saw now is the meaning of the second shloka of the Geetaartha Sangraha, which is a summary, entire summary of the first hexad, Purva Shatka. Jnana karmatmike nishthe yoga lakshye susamskrite atmanubhuti siddhyarthe Purva Shatkena chodite. Jnana karmatmike nishthe yoga lakshye susamskrite atmanubhuti siddhyarthe Purva Shatkena chodite. So with this, we come to the end of this time. So we can do the chanting of the second chapter now. Before that, I'll tell the prayer and close this session. And if you have any questions, you can please ask me. If I know, I will answer. If not, I will ask my experts in the field. So Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Sarvam Shri Krishnarpanamastu Loka Samastas Sukhino Bhavantu Samasta Sanmangalani Bhavantu Srimate Ramanujaya Namaha. If there are any questions, we can see whether I can address them.
No questions, Swami.
Okay.